Hello, I am ASMR Weetle. Hope you all, and you especially, is having a good day. Today I'm once again going to be talking about a hobby and interest of mine, gaming. So I'm going to do a gaming ASMR video presenting various games I have played, love and enjoy, and stuff like that, just like the previous game videos I've done. So I have chosen a few different games today too, and I've also chosen a few games I haven't talked about in previous videos. I'm looking forward to that. By the way, if you enjoy my ASMR, which I hope you do, check out my newest shorts videos, including the most recent 3 minutes Twix Rapper Chance video, and leave a positive comment and click like if you enjoy what you see. So check out my shorts too, much appreciated. And later this week, part 2 of the science fiction timeline roleplay story videos I do will come out. If you haven't already checked that out, just go into the playlist section of my channel, go to the sci-fi timeline story playlist, and there you will find the first part of that roleplay for all you who enjoy science fiction roleplay stuff. Anyway, looking forward to continuing that story later this week. But for now, let's get to the gaming ASMR. Again, how are you doing? Yeah, I hope you're doing good, hope you're having a great week. Now let's just get started. So we're going to begin with a platformer type of game, Spyro the Dragon. I grew up with Spyro and Crash Bandicoot on PlayStation 1 when I was a child. Yeah, this is Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which is a remaster of the 3 original Spyro games. So this is, all the 3 first Spyro games, Spyro the Dragon, Spyro, let's just see, what's the name here? The second Spyro game has 2 different names, but here it says Riptus Rage, I believe, and then you have Spyro Year of the Dragon. Yeah, but I believe what my version of the game is called Summer of Glimmer or something like that when it comes to Spyro 2. Anyway, Spyro is a very enjoyable platforming type of game series which was developed for PlayStation 1 in the 1990s originally. It's very fun, and you go around traveling to different worlds and stuff as Spyro the Dragon, and do minor quests in a way and stuff like that, and just do platforming, flying as Spyro. It's very basic yet fun game, so I suspect a lot of children in the 1990s grew up with this game. Yeah, I collect gems and that type of stuff. Very fun and enjoyable series. I'm not sure I have that much to say about Spyro, other than it being a fun gaming series, and what I hope they maybe make a proper Spyro 4 one day. I know they sort of have made a Spyro 4 before, but I mean more like a true sequel to the 3 original games. I'm well aware too about there is both a Spyro 4 and Spyro 5, which was released for PlayStation Xbox. I have never played the entire Spyro 4 thing, but I have played Spyro 5, which is Spyro A Hero's Tale or something. When I was a child, I played that game. So, but anyway, these are so yeah, if you enjoy 1990s type of platforming game, collecting games and flying different worlds, exploring different worlds, stuff like that, you may enjoy this game. And from Spyro to another type of platformer, Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot is actually a platforming series, also developed in the 1990s, which I also grew up with, but This is actually the remaster of Crash Team Racing, and it combines Crash Team Racing and Crash Nitro Kart into one game. So there are areas from both games here. Also, in this game, the main campaign is based on Crash Team Racing, but in the bonus section they have added areas from Nitro Fueled in addition to new areas to race through. New laps, new places to race through. So it's a very fun game if you enjoy racing. Can be kind of frustrating at times too, of course. Yep. Trust me, I've been frustrated at times when I played this game. When I've lost a race, it's been a frustrating experience. But then again, it's very fun when you win and when you complete it. When you succeed. So this is Crash Bandicoot and the Crash Bandicoot universe in racing form. So there is a main campaign, but you can also play with another player and play against another player in the bonus section. Me and my sister have used to at times race each other. So in this game, race against each other in the game. So it's very fun. So you have both the villain characters like Cortex and the hero characters like Crash and Coco, which you can play as in the game. Let's move on to the next game. We're going from platforming to RPG. And this is from BioWare. This is Dragon Age Origins, and from those of you who are Norwegians, you will see what it says brukt on the note here on top, which means used. Apparently, I believe I got this game as a gift like more than 10 years ago, and apparently I got it used, but it's still in good shape, so that doesn't matter. The dark fantasy epic from the maker of Mass Effect. So BioWare is also known as the maker of Mass Effect. And this was the first game in the Dragon Age series. This was released in 2009. And it was a huge success, and it helped create a new dark fantasy franchise called for Dragon Age, set in the fictional continent and world of Tidus. And Dragon Age has released 4 games so far. There is Dragon Age Origins, the first game. There is Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Dragon Age the Railguard. And the newest, most recent game came out just recently, just a few months ago in 2024. So it's a series with a lot of lore, a lot of history in it, a lot of world building. There is lots of codex entries and stuff in the games about the history of Tidus. The various games takes place in the 10th century the Dragon Age, essentially, or rather in the 900s Dragon Age. The first game is set in 930-31. The second game takes place over the course of several years in the 930s Dragon Age. Inquisition is in 940s and the Railguard is in 950s. So, and each game sees a different and new hero protagonist. So it's a very enjoyable series, and it deals with different plot lines and conflicts within the world of Tidus. In the first game, you get to choose one of 6 backgrounds. You can play as an elf, a dwarf, or a human, and as a mage, rogue, or warrior. And you get to choose one of 6 different backgrounds, and when you play through the background you choose, and then you become a Grey Warden, and that's sort of what the first game is about. Because in the first game, a new blight has come to Tidus, and that's essentially an army of Darkspawn, led by an archdemon who wants to sort of blight the world and sort of, invade and destroy the world, essentially. So there has been 4 blights in the history of Tidus, I believe, before Dragon Age Origins, but Origins sees the beginning of the 5th one. which you as the Grey Warden has to stop. You're essentially recruited into the Grey Wardens, whose task is to defend Tidus from the Darkspawn. And then, during the course of the game, you have to go to various places in the fictional country of Ferelden, which is a country in southern Tidus, which is also the equivalent of medieval Britain. And you have to recruit various factions in Ferelden to battle this horde of Darkspawn, now invading the land. So it's a very enjoyable and deep fantasy type of RPG, very, very enjoyable. So yeah, the first game is set in Ferelden and has several expansions to it, including a full-scale expansion called Dragon Age Awakening. The second game follows a completely different type of story and is set in Kirkwall in the Free Marches. Inquisition is set both in Ferelden and in Olay, and Olay is the equivalent of, well, France actually, old France. And then Dragon Age the Whaleguard is set more in northern Tidus, primarily in Tevinter, in the capital city of Minratus, but it also explores Antiva, Rivain, and the Anderfelds. So, and I believe it slightly visits Navarra too. I'm not certain about that, but so yeah. So the various games explores various parts of Tidus. It's a very enjoyable gaming series if you enjoy fantasy, RPG type of stuff. And there are lots of companions and choices and all the typical stuff from BioWare RPGs, Yeah. Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. It was released more than a decade ago, and it's sort of just an ultimate fantasy type of action RPG. It's, you can play as various races. You get to explore the world. It's really a game which is mostly just about exploration and exploring the world of Amalur. And in the main base game, there are like 5 big regions to explore, each divided into a lot of various areas. There is the forest of, I don't remember, I'm not sure what all the names were because it's been a long time since I played the game. But I know that when I played the game, I enjoyed it a lot. The game has a cult following, so it has had DLC released for it like just a few years ago. There were some trouble after the release of this game with the company which developed the game. So they made 2 DLCs back then, but then some sort of later company took up the game and released a new DLC for it now, just like 2-3 years ago or something like that. So, and there are rumors that they may one day develop a second game, but that's just rumors so far, just to be clear. Anyway, so Kingdoms of Amalur is set in a fantasy setting, with a totally fictional fantasy setting in the world of Amalur. It explores, as I said in the base game, 5 regions, from the beautiful green forest region, to a region of rolling plains, to a desert region, and to a jungle region, and to a more like crystal-like region. And in each region there is sort of a capital city. And 4 of them are explorable in the way that you can go around and do quests and explore the cities, So, yeah, if you want to play it, you probably have to, and you want to do everything in the world, because there's a lot to do. It's a full-scale open world game. You will probably have to sink many hours into it. Especially if you do the DLCs too, because we developed an island DLC, a DLC set in a mountainous region, and just recently a DLC set in some sort of snowy type of region, I believe. I haven't played the most recent DLCs, I don't know. But it's a full-scale game. Many called it sort of a spiritual successor to Fable when it was released, the Fable games. And it's not exactly the same, but it has some similarities with Fable. It has sort of the same sort of vibrant, colorful world and stuff like that. So it's a special type of game, and it may be sort of an acquired taste type of game, but if you just enjoy fantasy and exploring and open world stuff, you may want to try this out. Last but not least is a Star Wars game. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the Sith Lords. It is the second game of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic series, which published 2 games about 2 decades ago. The first game, which was developed by BioWare, and the second game, which was developed by Obsidian, as BioWare decided to instead pursue the development of Mass Effect, their very own science fiction universe, which are also great games, by the way. Anyway, so the Knights of the Old Republic series is set like thousands of years before the events of the Star Wars movies. It is set in the Star Wars universe, and in the second game you play as the Exile, someone who was exiled from the Jedi Order like years before the start of the game. It is set 5 years after the first game, and it is set in the aftermath of the war between the Sith and the Jedi, which took place in the first game. So in this game you really explore the aftermath of the war, but it's similar into the first game in many ways. You go around, meet companions, explore planets, stuff like that. Both the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games were kind of revolutionary when they came out. And the second game goes further than the first game in what you can train your companions in the way of either the dark side or the light side. You can choose which side of the Force you want to play as in the game. And the choices, as it says here, this time your choices affect everyone around you. So in this game they sort of up the ante on choices and interactions compared to the first game. It's a very enjoyable game. There is also for PC players, there is a restored content mod version available for this game, which you may want, because the game wasn't entirely, to be honest, the game wasn't 100% finished when it was released, which is very notable in its ending, to be honest. But it's an enjoyable game. You get to explore various planets like Telos, Duxon, Onderon, Nar Shaddaa, Korriban, Dantooine, and Korriban and Dantooine were also in the first game, but you can visit them again in this game. So if you enjoy Star Wars, RPGs, and that type of stuff, you may very well enjoy this game. You sort of have to find, the game sort of revolves around you having to find various Jedi Masters on various planets. I'm not going to spoil the details of the plot, and as you do, you uncover sort of what a sinister plot, and in regards to the galaxy. I said I don't want to spoil the details, but anyway. So this is a very, very enjoyable game if you enjoy Star Wars. There are like 2 or 3 returning companions from the first game, but there are lots of new companions too. You can do quests and stuff like that. If you have PC, you can also download the Droid Planet, by the way. So it's very typical RPG stuff, and it's a very old-fashioned RPG because it was released 20 years ago. But if you enjoy that type of thing, you may enjoy this game. I'm just thinking if there's anything more I should add to this. You fly around in the Ebon Hawk, the ship from the first game, and meet companions, collect companions, find Jedi Masters, try to unravel the conspiracy which is happening in the galaxy and what's about to happen, try to find out about your past. It's a more personal game than the first game, so it's not really set in an age of war like the first game was. It's a more personal story. but it's still a Star Wars story nonetheless. It takes a deeper, more philosophical approach to the entire Star Wars thing took. So the game is kinda noted and renowned for that. I think it's a very enjoyable game. Once you're done with the opening campaign, you get like 4 planets to choose from, to where you can go afterwards, and to find the various Jedi Masters. And then once you've completed the quest, the main quests on the 4 various storylines, you will sort of begin the whole end game part of the game. But that will of course take some time, because there are some quests and stuff to play through before you get to the end, of course. So, and of course, if you have PC, you may also want to check out the Coruscant Jedi Temple mod, if you want to visit the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, but be aware that not all these mods I mentioned are compatible with each other. So do some background checking before you download them all. Anyway, very enjoyable game. And it's worth playing just the base game too, just to be clear. Yep. So what was it? I believe we clocked in at over 20 minutes today, and I hope you enjoyed me just talking about games I love and enjoy playing. And please check out the previous gaming videos if you haven't already, if you enjoyed this Ramble. In the previous ones I talk about games I didn't talk about today, like, stuff like Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, games I didn't mention today. Okay, wish you all the best, and thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. Have a blessed divine day.